Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, today we are continuing with a training we started about 3 weeks ago. We are about to roll out the vision of the Archbishop termed the 12 Tribes of Action. And before we can effectively roll out, we need to show everyone who will play a role in the vision and what is expected of that position you'll be occupying. So we started training the data and admin group. The data and admin group went through the process. They're actually going to be occupying almost the center of activities within the tribe. And then we trained the shepherd coordinators. And the shepherd coordinators and cell coordinators will be working with the shepherds to perform the task that will be assigned to them. And this week we are training the shepherds. And the shepherds are actually the next role, the next important role in the vision. And so we have the data and admin who occupies the center. The next are the shepherds. The shepherds are going to play a very, very, very critical role. And if the shepherds play their roles very well, it means the tribe vision of Archbishop is about 80% success. If the shepherds are able to perform their role very, very well, they are 80% true. And so I'm going to go through the roles of the shepherd, what's expected of the shepherd very slowly, so that we can all understand and so that we can all play our role very effectively, so that we can see a successful vision within Action Chapel.
Rev.
So now we want to look at the vision. Yes.
Rev, please, at what point can shepherds ask questions? Isn't when you are handling the session or after the session?
The shepherds, you can put your questions in the chat. And after I go through the first part, then you ask your questions. And then when I go through the second part, you ask your questions. And then with the third part is a discussion. So the third part, we can ask the questions whilst we go along. But whilst I'm going through the PowerPoint presentations, you can put your questions in the chat. And immediately after that one, we'll go through your questions. Is that okay?
Okay,
so, yes. So now we are starting. We want to know the vision. The Archbishop gave us the vision, and the vision, I've summarized the vision into 3 points. Three points for us to understand what the vision of the Archbishop is. Now, the first point is that the Archbishop has realized that the back door of the church is very wide. And he wants the back door to be closed. He says, he's realized that members leave the church at the blind side of leadership. That a member can decide not to come to church for 3 weeks, and nobody will even realize the member is not coming to church. And that is not good for a church like Action. He wants us to ensure that no member falls through the cracks unnoticed. He's realized that sometimes a member may fall sick. And for about 6 months, nobody knows that the member just falls through before he realizes something has happened. The Archbishop is not happy with it. And so his vision is for us to be able to close the back door and also to ensure that whatever happens to any member, he knows about it, or the leadership knows about it, so that they can take an action to assist or support who the member is. That is one revision. The second vision is to appreciate members and to ensure that members feel loved in the church. The members will not come to church and feel like it is they and their God alone, each one for himself, God for us, or no. Members should come and feel loved within the church. We also want to give members a sense of belonging. That when they come to church, they must feel that they belong to a group that cares. They must feel that, yeah, this is the group I identify with. And they must be able to go out with their chest out, saying, I belong to Action, and be proud of that. And so I've summarized the vision into three points, and that brings out the what Archbishop is desiring to see in Action. He wants to see a family, Action, transformed into a family that everybody cares about everybody. People feel loved. Something happens to somebody, everybody rallies around the person. You understand? Information flow is very quick. You see, and then and everybody feels part of a group that cares. And this is the vision. Now, to implement this vision, a structure has been created. And when we look at the structure, the shepherd is going to play a very important role in that structure to enable us achieve the vision of the Archbishop. The shepherd is going to be the center of the vision, and most of the things are going to revolve around the activities of the shepherd. Now, the shepherd is going to be assigned members, and so each shepherd is going to have a certain number of members assigned to him or her. Now, the entire church belongs to God, managed by the Archbishop. The Archbishop says he cannot manage everybody, and so he wants to give a portion of the membership God has given him to somebody called a shepherd, occupying the role of a shepherd. And he's expecting this person to be able to manage the sheep he's assigned to, and to be able to report to him frequently, in such a way that at any point when he wants information about that particular shepherd, he'll be able to know and act appropriately. So every shepherd is going to be given a list of members. And so if you look at my screen, there's a shepherd called Thelma. There's a shepherd called Thelma. And Thelma has been given 3 people to manage. And so if we go into the system, we'll be able to see the members that have been assigned to Thelma. So each one of us are going to be given a certain number of members. Now, the shepherd is expected to bond with these members, the members assigned to the shepherd, in such a way that they become a small group of friends. And the shepherd is expected to report on his group of friends from time to time. If anything happens to a member within your group, the church will be relying on the shepherd to send information very quickly, so that the church can take action promptly. It is when the church takes action promptly that the member begins to feel he's part of a group that cares. But if the Archbishop does not know that something is happening to somebody in the corner, he will not be able to take the appropriate action. And the member who comes to church will feel he belongs to a group and nobody cares about. So the first thing we are going to do is to assign members to the shepherd. Now, who is the shepherd? To start with, every cell leader, every zonal leader, every area pastor, every assistant cell leader who has not been assigned any role in the tribe yet is an automatic shepherd. And the automatic shepherd, because the church believes that from the cell background, you've developed some experience already. You know how to take care of small groups already. And so if Archbishop entrusts a certain number of members to you, he knows that from your experience, you are able to manage. And so for all those in this category are going to be referred to as the senior shepherds. Other shepherds will be coming in to support. But those who are already in the cells are going to be referred to as senior shepherds. So senior shepherds are going to receive a set of members who they will manage going forward. Now, the shepherds will be expected to send weekly attendance reports on members. So these reports are supposed to come in every week. Every week, Archbishop expects a report on every member within the church. And because the reports are going to be a lot, we've created a template. And so these are the templates we are going to use to send the information out. The template has 6 fields on it. And the fields are mandatory. The last one is not mandatory, but the first 5 is mandatory. And so we have the date. If you are sending your report, we need to know the date the incident happened, the incident date. Then we have the name of the shepherd. So you, the shepherd sending the report, will have to select your name. And then the report is going to be sent on behalf of a member. The member's name must also be selected as part of your report. The status means whether the member is present in church or not. Now, Archbishop is interested at this moment. He's interested in people coming into the church. He believes that the more we come into the church, the more we receive the word, the better we become. You understand? And so we are encouraging members to come in church. And so if a member comes to church and are present, the full present will indicate yes, the member was in church. If there's any remarks, we put in a summary of the remarks. If the report, depending on the level of report, depending on the importance, depending on the urgency of the report, we'll expect you to select a level. And in our report level, we have important, we have very important, we have normal, and we have urgent. And so if you fill this form, you click add and save, the report goes in a structured manner. The report goes in a structured manner. And then those who look at the report can appreciate it and be able to act upon it very quickly. The shepherd will also inform executives on upcoming occasions, such as weddings and outdoorings. And so if, let's say, there's a member in your group, a small group, who is planning a wedding, it's the responsibility of the shepherd to inform the tribe leaders so that the tribe leaders can start preparing for the person. Archbishop believes that for every activity, there should be action members present, a lot of action members present to show and to let the member know that he belongs to a group that cares. For action members to be present at the right time, we need ample time to plan. And it is the responsibility of the shepherd to inform executives appropriately on time, so that the executives can organize themselves. And here by executives, we're talking about the tribe executives. Every shepherd is going to operate within the tribe. And so within the tribe, the executives of the tribes are supposed to ensure that their members are well taken care of. And so it's the responsibility of the shepherd to give them the necessary information so that they can act promptly to give that impression and to give that feeling to the member who belongs to them. The shepherd will also be relied on to inform the executives about emergency cases. And so if, let's say, somebody is in a hospital, something has happened to somebody, the shepherd is the first point of call. The person calls the shepherd, and the shepherd escalates, sends the message. And the message will also come through a template like this, what you are seeing. And so everything is going to be sent in a form of a template. And so the dates and activities and everything is in a form. And depending on the seriousness of the message, the report level, the shepherd will have to indicate in the report level. And so those who receive the reports will be looking at the report levels and will be acting appropriately so that everything can go well. Now, why do we have the report level? If, let's say, there are 200 members in a tribe, every shepherd is reported. You understand? And so we'll have about 200 records in our database every week. The data and admin people who will be looking at the reports will need to have a way of filtering through it very quickly and acting on the reports that needs immediate attention. And so if you put in your report levels, you enable them find your reports very quickly so that they can act upon it very quickly. And that is the essence of the report level. So depending on the nature of the report, you can give the report a level, and then it can assist those looking at the report to be able to get the report very quickly. The levels will be explained as we go along. You know when to use normal, when to use important, when to use very important, and when to use urgent, so that when you are writing your report and depending on the situation, you will be able to know the appropriate level to give the report in order for the report to receive the needed response. Now, if you look at the report on your screen right now, this is how your report will be coming into the system. And this is how it will be presented in the system. And so if you look in the system, there's a member called Chris and a shepherd called Thelma. Now, Thelma is reporting on the member called Chris. So Chris was not in church. So Thelma comes in and writes, Brother Chris traveled to the north on Tuesday. He will be back next week, and that is why he's not in church. Amma is also part of the members she's managing. So she reports, Sister Amma has been admitted at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. She's in Ward 55. Now she gives a report level agent. You see, and so the agent is colored red. And so when the data and admin people look at the report, they will see agents standing out, and it will help them draw the attention to that particular report, and so that they can act upon it very quickly. You You understand? And so depending on the urgency of the report, you can indicate the report level and to help the data and admin team act upon it very, very quickly. Now, I told you that the data and admin team are going to be at the center. And as the reports come in, they are going to also escalate it. And so if, let's say you say AMA is in a hospital, they will find the appropriate coordinator who is supposed to act on this and send the information to that particular coordinator. And so the coordinator receives the information and starts moving towards where the incident is. You see, so they are in the middle and they'll be distributing. So at the end of every Sunday, they'll be distributing information, and then the appropriate coordinators will pick it up and act upon it appropriately. We are expecting the reports to come in at the end of a Sunday. At the end of every Sunday, your reports will have to be submitted. The plan is to give everybody about 5 members. And so it is not too difficult reporting on 5. But depending on your tribe and depending on the available shepherds, the number may vary slightly. So either you may receive 5 or you may receive a little above 5. You understand, depending on your tribe. But we are still developing shepherds. And so as we go along, other shepherds will join us, and it will make our work a bit easy going forward. Now, as you report on the members from day to day, on week after week, you are also creating a history for the member. And so, for example, if we look at the next slide, with the next slide, we see a history on Brother Chris, a history on Brother Chris. And so here we see that on the 5th of June, Brother Chris was not in church because the status is known. Why? Because Chris traveled to the north and he was not able to attend church on that day. On the 12th of June, Brother Chris was in church. The status is here. On the 19th of June, Brother Chris was in church. The status is yes. On the 26th of June, Brother Chris was not in church. The status is no. Why? Brother Chris had his wedding and therefore was on honeymoon on that day. You can understand. And so it gives a history on the member of the church. If Archbishop calls at any time, the data and admin team will not have to come and call you and say Shepherd A or Shepherd B. What is the state of
Reverend Nuamah.
Yes.
Good evening. We do have a question in the chat box from Simon Anafo. He says, please, is the report for only attendance on Sunday church services or other church services?
The report is going to be on all services. You are reporting on the person. Now the focus is on Sunday. But going forward, it's the report. You can bring a report on a member as and when issues happen. You understand? And so if, let's say, something happens to a member in the course of the week, you can easily report it, and the data and admin team will pick it up and will work on it. But we are starting with Sunday. We are starting slowly. We are starting slowly with Sunday. If something happens in the course of the week, you still have the you still can send it out, and the information can be acted upon. And so this is how we build a history on each member within the church. And so with this arrangement, Archbishop will know that the people God gave him, he did not lose any. You saw that before Jesus left, he was confident. He was able to tell his father, Father, the people you gave me, I did not lose any. He could check he could know the number, and he is very sure that I've not lost any. We can also say that we did not lose any if every shepherd does his work very well. And so as God adds people to the flock, we can always know that the 100 people that were added to the flock in, let's say, the year of 2022, all of them are with us. We know the number. We can account for each one of them. And that is what the Archbishop is expecting us to do for him. So we are working as a team. We are working as a team. Good. Now, if you look at the volume of data, you will know that it will be almost impossible to work either with Excel or manual. And so we've created the 12 tribes of Action Chapel software. And we'll be using this software to send our information, the reports. And so each one of us prepares our reports, we send it. At the moment you send information, the data goes into a database, and we can always know what happened on a particular day. We can always act on it. We can always look at the history. The data will be there for us, and it will enable us manage the church the way Archbishop expects us to do. Good. And so we'll be logging into our database. We've created a dummy, and so each one of you are going to have the opportunity to send something. You send some information, and I can see it on our screen. We will share it, and all of us will discuss. And so I'm about to move to the next stage. But before we move to the next stage, if there are some questions, you can bring it up now, and then we discuss it and continue. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. You raise your hand. Lady Edna will see you, and then we'll allow you to ask your question. If you have the questions in the chat also, we can answer them. Any questions? Any questions? Good. So now let's move. We are moving to the next stage.
There's a question.
Your question. Okay.
Okay, sorry, we didn't see your raised hand, so please go ahead.
I think
yeah.
Kwesi Ata. Oh, I saw somebody's hand.
Yes, hello. Yes, it's Kwesi Ata. Good evening.
Good evening, Kwesi.
Please, I'd like to ask if a shepherd also travels or is absent, how does he or she takes care of his shepherds?
If a shepherd travels, how does he take care of his members?
Yes.
If a shepherd travels, how does he take care of his members?
Yes,
Sorry?
please.
Yes, it's the same as a man or woman traveling and finding a way of taking care of his children. Because we can travel, we have a family, we travel, but we find a way of making sure that our family is intact. And so the shepherd can make arrangements. The shepherd can put in the necessary arrangements to ensure that his travel does not affect his responsibility. You understand? So he can travel all right, but then his responsibility must go on. And so that one, I will leave it to the shepherd himself or herself to be able to figure out how do I manage this activity as I travel in and out of the country or the region or something. Any other question? Have I answered your question?
Rev.
Yes.
Okay, so I have one question for now.
Okay.
So Rev, let's say for a particular new convert that has been assigned to a cell leader,
Okay.
and the same new convert assigned to a shepherd. Okay.
Mm.
How should the the cell leader shepherd hand of the person?
Good. So a new convert is one. The new convert is brought to church. When the new convert comes to church, the new convert decides to become a member of Action. So the new convert is sent to the counseling department. Now at the counseling department, the cell coordinator is there, the shepherd coordinator is there. They take the information of the new convert and they find out that the new convert belongs to the tribe of January. So the new convert is assigned to the shepherd coordinator in January. Now, the shepherd coordinator in January assigned the new convert to a shepherd within January to follow up. The new convert was won by a cell. And so the cell will be following up on the new convert. And the shepherd who the new convert has assigned to will also be following up on the new convert. The resultant is that we are guaranteed that the new convert will stay. Why? Because there are two people now ensuring that this new convert who has come, this who have come remains in church. You see, so we have an even better structure to ensure that our retention is close to 100% as possible. Is that okay? Have I answered your question?
Yes, Rev. Thank you.
Yes. Any more questions? Okay, so now we are moving to the second phase. And our second phase, we are going to have a feel of the software itself. The software, our training portal is the same as the live one. For this training, we are going to log into Tribe Training. Tribe Training. So write this one, tribetraining.3cproject.org. The username is FEB-Nuamah. The password is admin. The username is FEB-Nuamah. The password is admin. I want each one of you to log in to the site. You are going to log into your site. I'm going to log off from here, and I'm also going to log in to the site. So I come here, and then I share my screen. Do you see my screen now? Do you see my second screen?
Yes.
Yes.
You can see, good. So I want each one of you to come here. To come here, you need tribetraining.3cproject.org. Lady Edna, can you put it on the chat for everybody? So tribetraining.3cproject.org. If you look on the chat, you'll find it. And then we log in as tribe login. So you are logging into your tribe. Now, each one of you as shepherds are going to be given a username and password. You are going to be given your own credential. And any information you send will come in the name, in your name. We don't expect you to share your credential with anybody. Because if you share your credentials, the person will be entering information in your name. And when we look at the data, we see the data in your name. So if there's something wrong with the information, it comes in your name. You understand? And so ensure that you are using your own username and password. If you want somebody to assist you, you need to request for a username and password for that person. A username and password for that person. So that the person can assist you, all right, but the information that is sent will be sent in the name of the person, even though he was assisting you. Is that okay? And so that is how we should operate. Now I'm logging in as FEB-Nuamah. Then the password is this one. The password is admin. Good. password, and admin. And the first place I'll come to is member reports and then list of members. I told you that every shepherd will be given a list. And so if I come to this page and I enter the name of the shepherd, I should see the list of members allocated to the shepherd. And so you see here, I pull Thelma and I see that she has 3 members. I pull Michelle. I pull Michelle and I see that Michelle has 5 members. And so as the names are assigned to you, you can see them in your tree. And it is your responsibility to take care of them. And so from where we sit or where Archbishop sits, Archbishop knows who belongs to who is taking care of who. You understand? And so you will know who to contact when he wants information about anybody. Are you getting it? And if you send your information, systematically to the tribe, when Archbishop wants some information, he will not have to come and look for you as an individual, but he will only have to contact your tribe, and the data and admin team will be able to extract the data and report appropriately on the member that you were managing. Is that okay? And so this is where so this is the first stage. The next is how to submit, how to send information. And to send information under attendance, we have record member attendance. Record member attendance. And this is how simple it is. So if I come here and I say, I want to record the attendance of a member, the first thing I do is to pick the date. So I pick the date. Let's say I'm reporting on a member, let's say on the 4th. I am Thelma. And the moment I click on Thelma, I see the three members of Thelma show up. And so I can send information on the three members. So I click on Chris. Is Chris in church? I say yes. If he's in church and there's a remarks, I can put there. If there's no remarks, I leave it and I click add. Then I pick my next person, Amma. And I think if Amma is in church, I click yes. If she is not in church, I can click no. If Amma is in church, it's not in church, there should be a reason. And so we can say Amma traveled. This way. Is a report a very important report? No. And so Amma travel, we can say normal. We are keeping track of Amma. And then we can come to the next. We have Jake. Is Jake in church? No. Why is Jake not in church? Possibly Jake is sick. So he just indicate. The sickness of Jake, is it that important? Oh, it was just something, complaint of some slight headache. And so it may not be very urgent. But maybe it's important, somebody should call him. So somebody calls and say, Jake, how are you? That type of thing. And so for the week, your three members, you've already reported on them. That is all. Straightforward, very simple. It has been reported on. Are you getting it? Now, the moment you send your report, the data and admin team will be looking at this. They'll be looking at this. And so they come here and they come and possibly select the shepherd. And then when they select the shepherd, they put in the range or the particular day. So either it is a range or a particular day. something of this nature, and they can know the reports that was sent by the shepherd. Very, very simple. If there are some important ones, they take action immediately. Yeah, otherwise they archive them and they ensure that everybody's safe. All that the Archbishop wants to know is that everybody is safe. Everybody is doing well. You understand? And that is the work of the shepherd. Very simple, very straightforward, but very effective to enable us achieve the vision of the Archbishop. Any questions? Any questions? Good. So now you are going to also send information. You are going to send information, and I'll be projecting your information from everybody. So everybody is located at a different place. Is that also? And we'll be sending information from time to time. From wherever you are, when you send the information, it will be received at the central point. So now I'm going to look at the list. I just call some names, and I ask you to perform a task. I ask you to perform a task for me. And if you perform the task, I should see it on my screen. Now, if I ask you to perform a task, and you are sending the report in your remarks, column, after you've written whether the person has traveled or not, add your name to it, so I can know that this report came from this person. And so now if I look at my list, who do I see? I see Auntie Lydia Coy. So Auntie Lydia is going to send a report. She's going to send a report as Michelle. Auntie Lydia is going to send a report as Michelle. So if you come to the shepherd name, we are sending a report as Michelle. We are using the Sunday. So Auntie Lydia, you are going to send a report on 2 members of Michelle. And the report must come in on the 3rd of July. On the 3rd of July. Your report is coming in on the 3rd of July. And so 3rd of July, it is Michelle who is reporting. The members of Michelle are here. So Auntie Lydia is going to send a report on Alex and Christian. Then Kwesi,
Reverend, 1 minute, please.
Okay.
Reverend, please, I missed the password. If you could kindly.
Your password, the password is admin.
Help us, the password.
The password is admin.
Admin. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now,
all right.
So
we're using the secretariat.
A report. You are sending a report on Philomena.
Rev.
Yes.
Rev, I think Mr. Boyko needs assistance.
Sorry?
Mr. Kony needs assistance.
Okay, Mr.
Rev, I wanted to confirm if we're using the secretariat or the tribe login.
The tribe login. Yeah, we are using the tribe login.
Okay,
so click on the tribe login. The username is Antwi-Nuamah, and then the password is admin.
Okay. Thank you.
So please, the particulars are in the chat. So that could also help.
Right.
It's in the chat.
Thank you.
So Kwesi Effort is also reporting on Philomena. And then who else do I know? Ebu Asare. You are also going to report on Philip. You are reporting on Philip. You are sending a report on Philip. And I want your reports to be known that they were not in church. And so give us a reason for them not coming to church. Give us a report for them not coming to church. And that is supposed to be on the 3rd of July. It's supposed to be on the 3rd of July. And then Elom Kupome. Elom will also be reporting on Ejekum Kufuor. Elom, we are reporting on Ejekum Kufuor. Ejekum Kufuor was also not in church. Why? Give us a reason. Give us a reason. Now, if they send their reports, I should be able to see their reports in a central point. And the reports are all going to come in the name of Michelle. And after you put in your remarks, I want you to add your name so I know who sent what. Good. So let's do it now. And so, okay, good. Now, if you look on my screen, you will see that somebody has sent a report on behalf of Michelle already. But you did not add your name. This is Auntie Lydia. I think Auntie Lydia was sending on Alex. And so now if I come here and I pick Michelle and I say, I want to know what has happened to Michelle on the 3rd. A report that came in through Michelle. Auntie Lydia, which date did you use? Okay, so Auntie Lydia reported Alex as attended. Alex as attended. The report was sent in by Michelle, and because it was attended, the attended service, there was no remarks. And then she reported on Chris. Did you report on Chris? No, you reported on Alex. Good. Let the remarks bear your name. So I come back here. I go to attendance. I want to see what happened between June and this. And I have my information. I have my information. And see, this is how simple it is. So from wherever you sit, you pick a member. Sorry. And so we have a report on Chris. We have a report on Amma. We said the report is that Amma traveled. It's a normal report. We have a report on Jake. And the report says Jake is sick. And the report level is important. We have a report on Christian. And so if, assuming there are a lot of reports here, what the data team, what the data admin team will be doing will be that they will pick important, who give me all the important reports, and all the important reports will line up. And they'll go through them. If there's a report that must be escalated, immediately they will act upon it. And whoever is a person in question will receive the needed help as much as possible and as quickly as possible. You understand? And so that is how it works. Very straightforward, but it's going to ensure that our bond, the bond between us as members of the church, is very strong. It's very strong. Now I want another set of people. So now until Lydia sent information, I want another set of people to send information on either an emergency, funeral, wedding, emergency, funeral, wedding, and Harry, go through the list and give me three people who can send information for us. go through our list and give me any 3 people who can send information. And you are going to send information for 26th of June. 26th of June, which was a Sunday. And you're also going to send on behalf of Michelle. On behalf of Michelle. So for the first person, you are sending a report on Alex. This
Okay,
is
Rev. I have them.
Sorry?
I have them, Rev.
Sorry, I said give me names. Give me some names on the platform
Okay,
right now who can send.
Amina Azuma.
Amina Azuma.
Boy Koni. Yeah.
Okay, one after the other. So Amina Azuma, you are sending a report on Alex on the 26th of June. 26th of June. Send either a wedding activity coming up, funeral activity coming up, or emergency coming up. And then who is next?
Rev Boy Koni. Boy Koni.
Boy Koni. Okay, so Boy, but are you able to log in now? Boy, Mr. Boy, are you able to log in? I can't hear you. Your voice is, your mic is.
Yeah, Mr. Boy.
Okay, so he's in. Okay, so you're also sending me an occasion, information on Christian on the 26th June. 26th June. And then who is next? Philomena. Somebody sending me for Philomena. Harry, who is the next person?
Daniel Thompson Folsom.
Daniel, you are sending me information on Philomena. Philomena. And you are all using record member emergency or occasion. The second one, if you look on my screen under attendance, record member emergencies or occasions. That is what you are using. And then we have next, who is next?
Rev, I've given 3 names.
You're giving 3. Give me 2 more.
I should give you 2 more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Robert Sarkodia Ado.
Robert Sarkodia Ado. Okay. So you also send information on Philip. Send information on Philip. Now in your narrative, add your name. So I know that this report came from you. It is very simple, very straightforward. The system has been carefully designed to ensure that even though the data is huge, we can still work all operate without being too much under pressure. We can combine with what we are doing without being too much under pressure. And that is how simple we've made a thing. And so I'm now going to check my tray. Remember, I'm sitting here as a data and admin person for the tribe. And the data and admin person comes in 26. Our reports are coming in for 26. So I come in here and I see one report coming. Okay. And it says Chris and his wife yesterday. No, this one was in before. This one was in before. Let your report come through. Do you have your phones and your laptops? I see Kweku here. Is it Kweku Tete? And then Louisa. Okay, Louisa, send me a report on the last person. Louisa, send me a report on the last person. And the last person is, I come here, occasions. For Michelle. And Michelle, the last person is Ejekum Kufuor, send me a report. Send me a report. And I want us to feel it, and I want the reports to come in so that we can see how simple it is. And then from when the moment we assign the members to you, you can be able to send the report appropriately. So I'm going back to my report to see what information I have there. So I'm searching from 26, okay? 26 to 7. And then I come, nice one. So now I see my reports coming in. Good one. So I see the names popping up now. And that is how it's. So everybody is reporting. Somebody is reporting under Thelma. Somebody is reporting under Lydia. So I see Catherine Shen reporting on Amma Sule. And so you see, when the reports come, we know who sent the report and who the person was reporting on. And then we also know the level of the report. And so here I see a lot of normal reports. Thelma is reporting on Jake. Jake is sick. I see until Lydia, who sent a report on behalf of Michelle, and also says Christian is sick, but it's a normal sickness. And so, I see another report on Christian Mensah. He was a best man for his friend's wedding. You see, and so this is how the reports will be coming in. The challenge is going to be that this report will be coming in plenty. If it is 200, it will come in 200 in a tray. If it is 300, it's coming in 300 in a tray. That is where it is. But sending the report itself is not difficult at all. And so this report comes into a central point. And that is where the data and admin people come in. And so you see that the data and admin people have the task of going through your report very quickly, and then assigning the report to particular individuals who will be expected to act on the reports. You understand? So as shepherds, you'll be sending in a weekly report on attendance, and you'll be sending in as and when occasions come up, weddings, funerals, emergencies, you'll be sending them in. And as they come in, there's always going to be somebody at the center who will be distributing it. So it is not everybody who have access to the software. Some of them will be receiving information from the data and admin team. And so the software, those who will directly interface with the software are going to be the shepherds coordinators, the data and admin team. You understand? And also at the executives who are interested and want to know what is going on will also be given access. You understand? So if you are the type who is not very familiar with the software, you don't have to worry yourself at all. Somebody will access the software and somebody will give you the information, and you'll be expected to act upon information. When you bring in the results, you can give it to a data and admin team, and they can enter it on your behalf. You understand? So you don't have to be afraid that I'm going to be required to always be on the system. If you cannot do it, we arrange to make sure that your information goes in as fast as possible. And if you are a shepherd coordinator and your shepherd is not able to send in the reports the way you expect it appropriately, you will have to set up a team who can support your shepherds to send in the report on time, because the report must come in on Sunday, and by the end of Sunday, the data and admin team will be distributing, will have gone through the reports, and will be assigning the reports to particular coordinators who will be acting upon it in the course of the week and reporting back. And so if you don't bring in your report, let's say you have an emergency and you don't bring in your report, the data and admin people will not see that there's something going on. They will not assign the report to anybody. And it will show, it will be as if that tribe that you belong to does not care. And that is what the Archbishop wants us to avoid. You understand? The tribe you belong to must be seen as caring for the members. And they are literally relying on those on the front line. And those on the front line are the shepherds. You understand? And so if the shepherd does not send in the information, the tribe will be blind. You understand? So the shepherd must send. When you send the information, the tribe leaders know what is going on. They know the health of their tribe at all times, and they can take the appropriate actions to take care of their tribes the way Archbishop wants it done. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Good. Okay, so let me see whether some more reports have come in.
Rev, there's a question.
So Reverend Nyama, we do have a question.
A question, okay.
It's from Joyce Mensah. Please, is there any other way to send a report in case you don't have a smartphone or
Right.
computer?
Yes. So in case you don't have a smartphone or computer, then you have to arrange with your shepherd coordinator. And so either you bring the physical report to your shepherd coordinator, and your shepherd coordinator will arrange to get your report into the system on your behalf. So that is how it's going to work. So if you don't have a smartphone, if you don't have data, if you don't have connectivity, you need to communicate. It's expected to facilitate that activity and ensure that the data comes in on time. Good. Any question? Any more? And so your data coordinator is going to play a very critical role around the shepherd. You see, so if you need any information, don't keep it to yourself. In the cells, we were expecting a report from a particular cell leader, and the report was not coming. Every week the report was not coming. And so I asked the cell pastor to draw closer. Why is it that this person always delays in bringing them? She drew closer and realized that the member they don't have data to send. You understand? And the moment she got to know that, immediately she put the structures in place, and the report started coming. You understand? And so if you have a challenge, just inform your shepherd coordinator, whatever the challenge is, and then your shepherd coordinator will facilitate it and ensure that the data is coming in. All that the Archbishop needs is that the reports are coming in. And when the reports come in, the tribe can act upon the reports. And we can see a healthy action. We can see the narrative change about action. People very happy in the church, everything going on smoothly. And all will depend on the shepherd and the coordinator. Any more questions?
So we do have two questions.
Okay.
One is from Mr. Boy Connie. Rev, please, what happens when the shepherd himself is absent? I think you answered that earlier, but probably Mr. Connie was not, so you have to take that again. And the second question is, Rev, please, how do you correct a mistake you made after sending the report?
If you send a report and you've made a mistake, it will be corrected. It can be corrected at the data admin, the data and admin section. You can also take out the report and resend. And so here you can come to edit past reports, past attendance reports, past this. So when I click on this, I can take out the report. I take out the report and I resend the report. You understand? I take out the report and then I resend the report. Nice. If I click on this one, the report, it tells me, do you want to delete it? I say yes, and then resend appropriately. Now, if you're a shepherd, you must know that a responsibility has been given to you. Archbishop expects reports from you, and so you always have to put in place the necessary structure to ensure that your reports are coming. It does not mean that you will not travel. It does not mean that you will not do any other thing. You are doing everything, but you are also adding this responsibility to the many things you are doing already. And so you always have to put in place the necessary structure to make sure that it's the same as having a family and traveling. Before you travel, you make sure that I have somebody to take care of my children, somebody to do this, so that in your absence, nobody feels vulnerable. You've put in place the necessary. And that is how you must see yourself. Necessity is placed upon you to do this particular job. Is that okay? Yes. Any other question? Any other question? Yes.
Please, some of our leaders are not here. Will you please make the recording available to us?
Yes, the recording will be made available. Are we still recording? Yeah, we are still recording. So recording will be made.
So we do have a question from Richard Amesimeku.
Okay.
He says, Rev, I have no idea for member name. I have no data for member name.
Okay.
And Mr. Boy Connie says, well addressed. Thank you.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, so Richard, in the system, we've assigned members to two shepherds. We've assigned members to two shepherds, Michelle and Thelma. Michelle and Thelma. If you go to attendance and you click on record member attendance, let's say I select the date and I select the shepherd name. The moment I select the shepherd name, automatically the members assigned to that shepherd pops up. And so Thelma can report on these three people. If I select Michelle, automatically Michelle's members will pop up. And I can send Michelle can report on these members. So if we assign members to you after this evening, we are going to indicate in the system everyone who is a cell pastor or a cell leader or a zonal leader or an assistant cell leader who has not been given any role yet in the tribe. All those who fall into this category are going to be assigned the shepherd role. And so you are going to be assigned the shepherd role. And so we are going to put you in your months. We are going to put you in your months, and then we are going to determine how many shepherds we have in each tribe or month in each tribe. You understand? The number of shepherds in a tribe compared with the number of members in that tribe will determine how many members will be allocated to you. Are you getting it? So if, let's say, there are 10 of you in a tribe of 20 members, then each one of you are going to have 20 in a tribe of 200 members, then each one of you are going to have 20 of the members to follow up on. Are you getting it? But as we go along, we will be training more shepherds, and so we'll be the numbers will be going down and down, because we'll be reassigning until we come to our ideal number. The ideal number is 5 per shepherd. The ideal number is 5 per shepherd. But we'll start from where we are now, and then we'll proceed. We'll proceed forward. It's okay. And so everybody's going to have this. So I'm assuming when we assign members to you, and you log in, you will see the members allocated to you. And then you.
So Reverend Nuamah, sorry, we do have a comment or a question from Reese Wong.
Okay.
She or he says, I'm so sorry, but I think it's she says,
Yes.
my line was out. I just came. How do I catch up?
Yes, there's a recording. So we've recorded it. We'll make it available on the cell locations or cell official, and you can pick it and listen. Now, when you click on the recording, there's a code, a passcode. So first you copy the passcode, and then you click on the link, and then enter the passcode, and everything that we've said here this evening will be played back to you. Good. Okay, so now, any more questions? No questions. So now let's go to attendance and then view member attendance history. View member attendance history. We want to go into the system and want to find out. So here the assumption is the Archbishop has called. I had a flash. I saw this face. This lady, she mentions her name, or this gentleman. What is his state? What is the status of this person? Somebody must be able to go into the system and be able to pull a report on that person. And that report came from a shepherd. That report is a systematic aggregation of comments or reports that has been gathered on that particular person. You understand? And for us to be able to do that, I come here into our report and I say, okay, is it Chris? You can pick Chris. I'm picking Chris. You can pick somebody else. So I come here and I say June. Let's say Chris. I set a range. I'm setting a range. Chris from June 5th to June. Okay, let's say June 6th to now. Something in like this. So when I do this, I see information that has been gathered on Chris alone. Information gathered on Chris alone. And so I see everything that Chris has done. So now I come again and say, Alex Edu. So what has happened to Alex? So I come to Alex, and in Alex, I generated from June to July, and I see only one report on Alex. Only one report. And so the moment I see only one report, I'm looking for the shepherd in charge of Chris. Archbishop is asking for the state of this person. We come into the report and we only see one report. How can this be? The shepherd coordinator is in trouble. The shepherd in question is in trouble. Why am I saying the shepherd coordinator? Because the shepherd coordinator is to ensure that at the end of every Sunday, all the reports are in. So the shepherd coordinator is managing 3 shepherds, and this shepherd is managing 5 members. The shepherd coordinator must ensure that at the end of the Sunday, 15 reports are in on the 15 members that his shepherds are reporting on. You understand? And so if a query comes from the Archbishop's office, we should be in the position to give systematic, accurate information on the members. If that does not happen, it means the shepherd coordinator did not do his work, and the shepherd did not do his work. You understand? And the necessary actions will be taken. And so this is how will be assessed. And also, if we come to statistics, we can know the data that has come in on a particular day. We come here and we pull a particular shepherd. We can either pull a shepherd or we will not pull any shepherd. We set a date range and want to have an idea at a glance whether the people are working. When I generate, it brings me For each person, Michelle sent 3 reports on the July 3rd. Then Thelma on 12 June sent 1 report. Thelma sent again on the 19th 1 report, and then Thelma sent again on the 4th 1 report. You see, and so the shepherd coordinator, this is the first place the shepherd coordinator will come to. He knows that on a particular day, each one of you must send me 5 reports. And so when he comes here and checks, and he does not see his 5, then he begins to drill down. Then he begins to go there and say, why has Michelle sent me 3 when I expect 5? I don't understand. Why didn't you send me the 2? Immediately, the shepherd coordinator goes into the tray to find out the reports that Michelle has sent. So he comes to pick Michelle. He sets the date range again to find out what is happening. Why is Michelle not bringing me? And so he sees the tray. Okay, so these are the tray Michelle sent. You understand? Where is the 2? Immediately he picks a and calls Michelle. Yes.
So we do have a question, and I think it's from Harry Day.
Okay.
It says that, Reverend, please, is there a possibility of hacking into the tribe system? And what do we do in situations where we forget our passwords or realize that someone has entered into the system with our login details without our permission? Thank you.
Good. Now, if you notice or you think that somebody is using your password, immediately you change your password. The system has some security features. If the system stays on for a period of time, a very short period of time, it locks by itself. And so you cannot log into the system, open a page, and then enter the first person, add, and then you stand somewhere and converse. No, the moment, by the time you come back, the system has logged you out. Because we believe that it is possible to start an activity and then leave. And when you leave, somebody comes behind you to try and do something on the system. Because of that, we've put in a timer. And so if your system stays idle for a short period of time, it will go off by itself. That's the security feature we put in. But if you realize that you've forgotten your password, you have to change your password. I'm realizing that people tend to forget their password. And I'm wondering why. If you are given a password and you think you forget, write the password somewhere. You can write it by your bed or somewhere that nobody can see. And you can write it in such a way that only you can see. So that if you forget, you can always go back and pick it up. You understand? And some people also will create a very serious password, and the next minute they forget. You understand? If you create a serious, very hard or difficult to code or difficult to unravel password, make sure you kept it safe in a place so that if you forget yourself, you can always go and pick it up. Is that okay? Any more questions? Any more? Okay, so the shepherd coordinator will be monitoring each one of you every Sunday, and he will be using these tools to monitor you. He will first check the summary, and the summary will tell him that you were supposed to bring 5, you brought 3. Then you come into a tray, this tray, to find out the people you've reported on, and he will also know the people you have not reported on. And the moment you get that information, he's going to call you and to ask you why you did not report on those that you were supposed to report on. And it is your responsibility to send in the reports. You understand? You don't have to wait for your shepherd to go through this process. You understand? Because your shepherd will also be answering from time to time. There's going to be a report generated on your activities, you and your shepherd. your shepherd coordinator. So we'll get to know your performance over a period, whether you are really doing your work or not doing your work. And you don't have to fail your shepherd coordinator. The shepherd coordinator must feel proud that he's the shepherd coordinator of the group of shepherds assigned to him. You understand? And so work together as a team and ensure that the vision of the Archbishop is fulfilled. Always let the vision be in your mind. One is to ensure that nobody falls through the cracks. Nobody goes out of the church without management of the church known. Nothing happens to anybody at the blind side of management. That is the first vision. Everybody must feel loved in the church. Everybody must feel loved. You understand? And so if something happens to somebody, you have to move and make sure that the person in question has received the needed help as much as possible. And because Archbishop's heart is toward the tribe, Archbishop has made provision for each tribe. Say 50,000 has made provision of 50,000 for each tribe, and we are expected to grow that money. You understand? As long as we have that base, we are in the position to support as much as possible. And so, for Archbishop to commit such an amount, it tells you that his heart is with the tribe. And so, let's do everything possible to ensure that we do our work very, very, very well. That Archbishop will be proud of us, and will also see his vision manifest. Good. Any final questions? Any final questions? We're about to close. Any final questions?
So far, there are no questions in the chat box.
Good.
So if
Good.
you want to ask a question, kindly raise your hand and ask.
If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. And if you raise your hand, we'll pick it up. And then respond. Good. Okay, so the next steps. So now I've showed you what is required of you. We've created this software to connect all of us together and to ensure that we are all going to play different roles. So everybody is going to be in his part of the database, and we send information in the part of the database. But together, we will see the big picture, and together we'll be able to fulfill the complete vision of the Archbishop. Now, what we are going to do from tomorrow is to indicate your positions in your tribes. You are going to indicate each one of you your positions in the tribe. We know those who have been assigned other roles. Some of us have been assigned other roles in the tribe already. And so we'll pick each name and we'll check our central secretariat database. If your name is not in as any role, you are an automatic shepherd, and then we'll put you in your tribe. And so that is the next activity. After that one, we are now going to sit.
So sorry, Reverend Nyama, we do have a question.
Okay.
We do have a question, and it's from Yabole Benton. In an emergency situation, can you submit report and follow up with the call to the tribe executive?
Yes, that is perfect. If the situation is very emergency, you submit your report and you follow up with your call. You ensure that the report has been seen, the report is being acted on. You understand? Because you are the first line. You are close to the incident, and so you can follow up with a call and ensure that the necessary action that must be taken is taken. I think that we had an issue two weeks ago. It was escalated, and the tribe leaders immediately moved. You understand? They moved to ensure that everything is fine. I think that was our first case. You understand? And everybody was happy. The lady in question was so happy. You understand? And she belonged to a group that cares. They landed in a house, a lot of them. give us some money and that type of thing. And that is what that Bishop wants you see. And so that is what you must do. Follow up with the call and ensure that what is supposed to be done is done. Any other question? Yes, so the next step will be to assign the members to you. So after we've assigned you, indicated in the system who you are, and as I said, all of you who were cell leaders and assistant cell leaders are automatic senior shepherds. And so in the system, all of you are going to refer to as senior shepherds. And so after we've done that, a team are going to sit down and then we are going to assign members to you. And after we assign the members to you, we are going to take into consideration where you live and possibly the age range as well. So we assign an appropriate team group to you that you can manage. Now, you see the software has its part in place. The software will gather the data and everything. But there's also the human part. The human part, you establishing relationship and bond, the software cannot do. And so we give you your people and we expect that you play the other part. You understand? So the other part of creating the rapport, establishing relationship, making sure that the team, you see each other as friends, brothers, and that type of thing, will rely on the shepherd. And this work, this we've been doing for some time. As a cell leader, you've been managing people, you've been going for evangelism, you've been doing things. And so we expect that you know some of these basic things already. Even though there are plans of doing trainings and retraining, the phone ethics and that type of thing, we still know that you've been doing this for some time. And so we will start anyway. And then as we go along, grooming each other, helping each other, you see. But the people assigned to you, you don't have to lose any. You should also be able to say what Jesus said. Father, the people you gave me, I did not lose any. So if we give you 5 people, you must be able to keep the five people, and it will take God, it will take the Holy Ghost, it will take you praying for them. It will take some certain structures you put in place. You can decide to pray with your members once a week. You have a particular day that you meet either online or something that you pray. They should see a benefit coming into contact with you as a shepherd. You understand? And when that benefit is there, you see that they are running around you, it will be easy to report on them. You understand? But if the relationship is formal, and every week I'm calling to check whether you're in church. The next week I'm calling to check whether you're in church. If you go by it that way, a time will come, they say, buddy, you know I'm in church, so you just report that I'm in church or something. You understand? So don't let it be like that. Putting the structures we know already to ensure that the report comes in every week in a nice way. In a nice way. In some of the cases, you don't even have to let the people know that you are writing a report. All that you need to know is to check on them. You are checking on them. You want to know, and if it's in church, you just indicate that it was not. If it was not in church, you just indicate. You understand? So it should not be that formal way, but in a more friendly environment, and at the same time taking care of each other. And that is what we'll be doing. And so between now and next week, we are hoping that some of you would have your members assigned already. And at when we check from Bishop Susan, we will know when we take off as shepherds operating in our roles as we go forward. Good. Any questions? At time we are already 8 o'clock. It looks like to today we've gone a little faster. Any other questions? If there are no other questions, then we are closing already. But what we are going to do is that we are going to make this training available on the occasions platform and the Cell official platform. take your time and look at it. The site, Tribe Training, is also available. You know the username and password already. So you can spend time yourself, go there and log in, submit reports, look at how your reports look like and that type of thing. And so take your time and go through it. Look at all the various tools available to you. You understand, and make sure that you know exactly what to do at every particular moment, and make sure that your reports are coming in. As I said, anytime you have an issue, your Shepherd coordinator is there. So the Shepherd coordinator has also been trained, and he's in a position to assist you, do what's expected of you, as much as possible. And so you are supposed to work as a team. Don't work in isolation. We don't want a situation where the Shepherd coordinator is saying, I'm calling them, they are not doing. I'm waiting for the report is not coming. No, we don't want that. You have to always make it happen. The report must come. Why is it not coming? Address it. And that is what we want to understand.
Reverend Nuamah, we do have a question from Kwesi Atta Hayford, or a comment. In the course of your duty, and there's a bad blood between you and your members, how do you resolve it?
Yes, so if you find it a bit difficult to manage a particular member, you have to fall back to the your Shepherd coordinator and find a way of addressing it. And find a way of addressing it. Make sure that the relationship is cordial at all times. You understand? If it is necessary to reassign, your Shepherd coordinator will recommend, and we can reassign. You understand? Yes, all that we need is that it should be that friendly environment. It should be that bond, and everybody must be served appropriately. Everybody must be served appropriately. Are we okay? Good. All right, so we are closing now. Can we ask one person to pray with us? One person to pray with us. And I'm seeing Mary Yabua. Auntie Mary, can you pray with us as we close?
Shall we pray? Our Lord and Savior Jesus, we thank you for tonight. Once again, oh God, Lord, we've come to study under your feet, to be able to operate very well in your kingdom. We ask for your grace, we ask for your mercies, we ask for your wisdom, that we continue to handle these issues so that everything will be successful for the kingdom work to progress. We thank you for Mr. Reverend Nuamah. Pray that Lord continue to strengthen him, Lord, to continue to lead and guide us throughout everything we need to study. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for coming. And so check your platform in the next 2 hours. In the next 2 hours, the recording will be available and will be on the platform. So you can check it, go through it, and then start putting yourself in readiness. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. God bless you all.
Thank you, Edna.
God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Reverend.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
God bless you, Rev.
God bless you too. I see Auntie Josephine. Hey, the recording should be stopped. Harry, can you stop the recording?